And I am here with Ryan Prichard, and we're here to talk to you a little bit about Bill Me Later. We're both software development managers from Bill Me Later. I work more on the auth side, so the real-time transactions that come in the door will come into the code base that I manage. And all of the website and services that are built from Bill Me Later, Ryan actually manages. We both started off as software developers about 5 years ago. Bill Me Later is a product that has been around since about 2000. We're based in Timonium, Maryland. We also have a West Coast presence in San Francisco. And of course, we were acquired November 2008 by PayPal. So we're going to take a few minutes to tell you about Bill Me Later, how it's used, what are the added values for consumers, what are the added values for merchants. We're going to also be talking about what Bill Me Later is working on right now and how we've integrated the Adaptive Payments API, and talk to you about some of the new and exciting products and new launches that we're planning. So I'm going to take just a second and ask, have any of you used Bill Me Later? Have any of you made purchases online with Bill Me Later? That's awesome. That's great to see, and that's more people than we saw last year, actually. So if I may, sir, what product did you buy with Bill Me Later last? Justin Bieber tickets. Okay. And what made you purchase those tickets with Bill Me Later? Security. That's what we often hear. Many of our customers who buy Justin Bieber tickets are interested in the security, the speed, and quite frankly, the ease of making those transactions online. And that's why they leverage Bill Me Later for those online transactions. I want to take you through a true story about and compare and contrast the differences between using Bill Me Later online and possibly using a credit card. So a couple weeks back, I had my TV broke in my house, and I knew that I wanted to buy another one. So I went online, and I found a 42-inch plasma TV that I thought, must go on my wall to make me happy. And I knew that the price was a bit steep, so I wanted to get the best financing option I could get. So I knew that there was a credit card that was offering a good 6 months same-as-cash deal, and I went and found the application, filled it out. About 2 weeks later, the credit card comes in the mail. Peel off the little sticky, go activate the card, and by that time, I'm no longer interested in buying that plasma TV, nor am I interested in buying it at that merchant. So contrast that with me going online, finding that 42-inch plasma TV that must go on my wall, and seeing and noticing that the merchant is offering Bill Me Later. So I put the 42-inch plasma TV in the shopping cart. I picked Bill Me Later. I put in the last four of my Social Security number, my date of birth. I click on the terms and conditions. And voila, within a matter of seconds, I get an email that tells me that 42-inch plasma TV is being shipped and it's on its way to me. And at the end of the month, I have a statement. So I'm a very satisfied customer with instant gratification. I found a new and secure and fast way to pay on the web without using a credit card with top-of-mind information. And this is the form that I would fill out with just date of birth, Social Security number, and accepting the terms and conditions. It's really that simple. So it's a simple process with top-of-mind information. Typically on the order of 3 seconds or less, a decision is made. And Bill Me Later actually offers a continuous growing suite of payment options, including 6 and 12 months, same as cash, and no interest products. So we talked about the added values from a consumer standpoint, but let's say you're a merchant or a seller, and you really want to know what's in it for me. Why would I add Bill Me Later as a funding source? Well, when you add Bill Me Later, you actually acquire new customers and increase your sales with financing and promotional tools. Ryan is going to walk you through some of the promotional tools we have to strategically locate and drive customer behavior. In addition to that, Bill Me Later is a real-time credit product. We're not a subprime lender. We actually try to target those customers who are high-value credit customers who are actually going to make more purchases and make higher average order values. In addition to that, merchants pay lower rates with Bill Me Later than they would with normal credit cards. And merchants have access to high lifetime value customers through the closed network Bill Me Later shopping. So in addition to the added wins for consumers and the added wins for merchants for using Bill Me Later, the landscape of online transactions is actually changing. From 2007 to 2009, general retail sites have increased from 6 to 11% of customers who want to use non-card credit options to pay online. And you may wonder, why is that? Why would consumers be interested in using non-physical cards? Well, for many of the same reasons that we talked about the tickets. They want to make sure that their purchases are more convenient. They want to make sure that they're interested in being free from hassle of using their credit card. And they may not feel comfortable in the surroundings where they are in pulling out their credit card information or using it online. In addition to that, there's a 2009 Forrester TEI study that showed that adding Bill Me Later and PayPal as funding options for customers to use actually increased the incremental sales for merchants by 29%. And that incrementality is driven by two ways: new customers coming to the door, on the order of 30% more who are added with when Bill Me Later is added, and 30% higher order value from those transactions that those customers are performing. In addition, within 1 to 2 weeks after launch, the merchants can start seeing the return on investment and payback that Bill Me Later and PayPal add. So we've just talked about the added value for the consumers and the added value for the merchants, and some of the changing landscape for credit options. Ryan is now going to take you through some of the products that Bill Me Later offers that drive customer behavior.
Thanks, Pam. So, as Pam was mentioning, one of the biggest benefits of using Bill Me Later really is our promotional financing programs. So, from a merchant perspective, it really drives increase in acquisition, customer acquisition, as well as reuse. So, imagine I'm a consumer. I want to get an expensive digital SLR. But I'll go on the network and notice that B&H Photo, for example, is offering a 6-month same as cash offer for anything over a certain price. And this is great. I'll go and use it, purchase something a little bit more expensive than I would have bought if I had to pay within 30 days. So I go in and brings me as a consumer to B&H where I otherwise may not have gone. So I go there, make the original purchase. Maybe a few months down the road, I decide, I want a new lens for my camera. Let me go back to B&H, because if they still have that same promo, I can also take advantages as well. So again, that's reuse. So when we did our integration with PayPal over a year ago, we started getting a data feed from PayPal that allows us to pre-approve some of the top buyers that PayPal has already identified. And it also allows us to target offers through different marketing channels directly to these customers. And launching in December, we're going to have real-time approvals with eBay customers. So as soon as an eBay account gets created, an event gets sent over to us. And at that point, we'll do a real-time pre-approval and send the reply back to the customer. So Bill Me Later integration with PayPal and eBay. So Bill Me Later is now offered on PayPal as a payment source. Many of you have probably already seen this if you've gone through the PayPal wallet experience and seen our offering in there. We're also offered on select sellers in eBay. And the way we did the integration, it rides the same rails as our PayPal integration. A neat feature that we actually demoed last year at 2009 Innovate was our SPI, or Single Programming Interface. And it's one interface that merchants can use to integrate with both PayPal and Bill Me Later. And the nice thing about this is that it allows the merchant to really decide if they want to show Bill Me Later and use Bill Me Later for more of a native experience, what we call that, or if they want to integrate with PayPal and then use Bill Me Later through the wallet as others do. So it gives you that choice, which is nice. So what's next for Bill Me Later? Our main focus from an innovation standpoint is to expose the Bill Me Later product through the adaptive APIs. And this will allow faster time to market for new PayPal products. So as developers come up with new ideas and leverage the adaptive APIs, Bill Me Later will be there along for the ride. We're also looking to streamline the mobile platform experience and speed up our merchant onboarding. And as I mentioned, this is all by taking advantage of the adaptive APIs, and we'll go into more detail in a second. So exposing Bill Me Later through the adaptive APIs, really, there's two areas to cover here. One is exposing our authorization processing, which is the bread and butter of Bill Me Later, through the adaptive payments. And by doing that, we'll be able to offer the simple payment features, split payments, chain payments, and all these other features that have been offered through the adaptive APIs. The next part is allowing an existing PayPal account to add Bill Me Later as a funding source. And the neat thing about that is that it's not, by allowing that, a customer wouldn't just be adding another credit card to their account. As we're going over the different promotional financing offers that we have, and as Bill Me Later continues to grow the suite of promotional financing products, it really does add another dimension of product features into the customer's funding source, which is nice. So Bill Me Later is known to identify a customer using just a small amount of data, right? As Pam was mentioning before, using the last 4 of your SSN and your date of birth, right? Everyone knows that the barrier to entry in mobile devices and platforms is too much data entry. So we're looking to leverage what we already know how to do and really take that and combine it with exposing our functionality through the adaptive APIs to improve the overall mobile express checkout integration that we currently have. So speeding up merchant onboarding, right now, if you're a merchant that would like to expose Bill Me Later to your customers, there's an onboarding process that you have to go through with our merchant integration team. Using the adaptive APIs, though, you basically get this out of the box, and it would remove some of the hurdles that it would take to do it today. So conclusion, the first part of the presentation, we covered all the benefits of Bill Me Later and how it brings value add to our customers and the merchants by offering all the different credits products that we have. And also by leveraging Bill Me Later as a funding source and as well as through the adaptive payments, it allows merchants to offer more products to their customers as well as streamline their overall checkout experience. So that's all we have. That was pretty quick, but if we're here to answer questions, so I think we'll begin the Q&A now. And our contact information is right here as well. If you'd like to fire off an email to us, that would be great. And after the Q&A, we'll be down here as well if you'd like to come up and ask some questions. So, okay.
Hi, I have a question about like how Bill Me Later leverage this new platform of PayPal. Like, because as far as I know, Bill Me Later, most people use Bill Me Later to buy high-tech items. But as you can tell from the presentation yesterday or today, like most of the apps actually focus on like micropayments. Mm-hmm. So there's a huge disparity between targeted customers and the service offerings. So what do you see of that? And my second question is that Bill Me Later is actually built on credit because people use Bill Me Later to get financing. Right. Do you think this new app will change the risk exposure of Bill Me Later? Thanks.
So do you want to talk about the first one, and I'll talk about the second one?
Actually, can you repeat that?
How are we going to use adaptive payments? Because a lot of people are using micropayments, purchasing smaller items. And how are we going to use the adaptive payments?
Yeah, so as we're embarking on this solution with exposing our functionality through some of these, the adaptive APIs, we're starting to really mature our product as well to handle some of these types of smaller payments and everything. We already have a much smaller interchange rate than some of the other credit card companies do. So I think we're positioned much better to support those types of solutions.
With regard to the added risk that you see from getting a lot of transactions in different doorways, adaptive payments is only one of them. We also have many other front doors into the Bill Me Later credit portfolio. We have our pay capture. We actually ride a rails through Discover Network. We have many doors into the Bill Me Later credit. And quite honestly, we've been able to have lower risk and lower, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Fraud.
Lower fraud and loss rates, I'm sorry. So even throughout the recession, we saw that a number of the credit cards, their loss rates and fraud rates went higher. And Bill Me Later was able to maintain our 2007 loss rates. So I think that because we have such a strong way to indicate fraud, and we hit a number of third parties and databases to actually figure out who's making that purchase, and if it looks like it might be account takeover, we have a lot of ways to deter that and to make sure that that's not happening. So the bottom line is, even if that front door happens to be widened or we have a new front door from adaptive payments on smaller platforms, I don't think that's going to hurt our loss rates or our credit strategy. Very good question, by the way.
So you talked about the merchant onboarding process. My understanding is it's a $20 million GMS for a merchant to be considered for the onboarding process. Is that still the case with adaptive payments, or does that lower that barrier to entry?
So we're actually, I think you're right, with the large merchant portfolio, that there's typically a line that you have to cross before you can enter that. We're looking at also small merchant onboarding, and that's a strategy that we're starting to look at now. So I think that if you can, give us some information if you're interested in that, because we're actually looking now at how we can start onboarding smaller merchants and what that looks like in the future.
Yeah.
I actually have two questions, if I can. The first one was you had shown the purchase behavior. I've not used the process before myself. So is there a consumer onboarding process beyond that? You said entering in the birth date and last four digits also. Is there additional information that's provided before that?
Yeah, so what typically happens is I'm sorry, do you want to take this one? I don't want to.
That's
go ahead.
fine.
Go ahead.
That's okay. Well, Pam runs our auth engine, so.
We're going to tag team from now here on out. So what typically happens is when a transaction occurs, the merchant has already collected some of the information from you, right? They know that you're going to ship to this person, and this is your billing information. So that gets handed to us behind the scenes. The additional information on top of that we need to actually assess if you are who you say you are, is the last four of the SSN and the date of birth.
Okay. The other question, is there any application of this toward payment for recurring bills?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Is there any application of this for payment of recurring bills?
Yeah, we actually have subscriptions right now. So you can have Bill Me Later I'm on this. You can have Bill Me Later as your payment option for subscriptions as well, and we do definitely do that. We have merchants who, there was a weight loss place that, LA Weight Loss, something like that actually had recurring payments. So definitely that is something that you can use Bill Me Later for. The next one's all yours. No more. All right.
We'll plan, Pam.
One more question.
Thank you. So you're telling me with the adaptive accounts and adaptive payment stuff that Bill Me Later is starting to integrate with, that come the kind of like the first part of the year, it'll make it easier for small merchants to onboard, because today, like I've heard from some other folks, that there's that barrier to entry, but it sounds like just some of the stuff I've heard that you're going to be able to leverage the adaptive accounts and adaptive payments API, see Bill Me Later, and not go through any form of a traditional merchant onboarding. It'll be pretty streamlined. So if I'm already a PayPal seller, if you will, or a PayPal account holder in good standing, that I'll be able to to go ahead and leverage this without going through this big application process. Is that true?
Yeah, that's absolutely what the target is, or what the goal is. And
You're on.
I'm on. Yeah. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, as I was mentioning, that is definitely the goal as we're going, and you know, in all the adaptive features, are, you know, and as we saw in the keynote yesterday, really streamlining that process and making things much easier for the customer. You know, not having to switch out of context, all that stuff. We're looking to really ride those same rails and just offer the product in a seamless manner to our customers. So.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much.